So we have a breaking news for you that the African cause of Russia have now adapted their tactics to a new style. You no longer see the African corps wearing their normal tactical gears and every other thing. You can't even identify them because the African corps are beginning to dress like the locals. What locals am I talking about? The Tuaregs. So when they dress, their nose, their head is covered, with the local attire, and you cannot identify who a Roshie is or who an Azawadian is. This only means something, that over time the African corps has adapted their style to the situation on the line of contact, on the fly. And this can only mean one thing. You won't be able to identify who is next to you. Is it a Russian or is it an Azawadian? And if, God willing, the next person to you is a Russian and you are a terrorist element, it only means one thing. You won't even get 72 virgins. You will get 5. Now, I'm giving the Azawadians 5 because a lot of them don't like me on this channel. Love you, guys. Love you like a play cuz. But you go get 5. The Russians are really doing a great job. And recently, the farmers of Mali have been on rampage. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the next information, shall we? So, ladies and gentlemen, I do love the Azawadians because these guys are the most trained among all the militias in the Sahel. To be honest with you, the Azawadians are a different kettle of fish. I do think that the JNIM or whoever would not dare to confront these guys because they have the drones, they have snipers, they have a lot of trained elements, okay? Now, but why their trained elements were on patrol yesterday in Kidal, right? They were patrolling and they were looking for ground forces of the farmers of Mali. But unfortunately, they did not realize that modern warfare could come at you in any way or form. So what happened? They were on ground patrol, and when they didn't see nothing, they branched under a tree to take a rest, to watch with their binoculars and see what's going on, who's coming. Maybe they've not heard anything from the IEDs that they've already planted on the road. There are no African Corps patrol coming. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next thing that happened was, bow, 72 virgins on the spot. No, I said 5. They were neutralized. All of them, the vehicles were filled up. If you see the picture of the vehicle, I do have it on my Telegram channel. They were ostracized, ladies and gentlemen. Let me use that. Let me use the terms that match what the ground situation was. So a lot of Azawadians, as at yesterday, they kissed the dust because they did not realize that on the sky there is a constant ice. Now I think that the Azawadians, they're well equipped, but you see all the things that they've been doing recently, like posting the sniper rifle, posting their pictures with drones, this will only make the farmers of Mali to even adapt to this situation, because it's like you are showing the enemies the full capacity of your strength. That is the thing. I thought they were more intelligent. In my own opinion, if I'm going to a battlefield and I have a sniper and the enemy doesn't have, I'm not about to broadcast myself on the social media. It's going to be off camera. It's when somebody get caught. That is if they even have someone so intelligent enough to know, okay, that the sound of that shot came from a sniper, right? But they came out on social media and they showed everybody that they have a sniper rifle, and I can guarantee you that the first time they will deploy that sniper rifle, the farmers of Mali will take it, because I feel like the farmers of Mali, they have a constant eyes in the sky. So you ain't shooting that sniper rifle without maintaining a good position. And I can guarantee you that even recently on the Algerian border, the farmers of Mali neutralized a lot of these elements. Modern warfare has changed. And remember the words of Assimi Goïta, that the new equipment they just procured from Russia will be able to protect them from any hostile neighbor. You know who the hostile neighbor is. So for the Azawadians that kiss the dust, I hope you can get 10 virgins, not 72 this time around. I pity those ones because they couldn't even fight. No chance to fight. So we give them 10. So we'll go to the next information, ladies and gentlemen. The JNIM guys actually found their way into Mali. I think they are tired of engaging the Malians on the outskirts. Those skirmishes, I think they've been taking more losses than they propagate on the media. Okay, so they got themselves, I don't know how they did it, they found themselves inside Mali, and guess who they met on ground? Now the problem was they could not even identify who was a civilian, who was a private militia that was supporting the government. They met with the Dogon forces of Mali. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what happened? They were reduced to nothing because the Dogon forces were so swift and they were very decisive. Ladies and gentlemen, as we speak, every of those elements already are on, even if they are working with a wheelbarrow, they've already gotten to their final destination as we speak. We got the pictures on Telegram because we won't be able to post it here. Like I saw a guy that got this whole place entirely closed up with some very precise destructive shots. The Dogons are really effective. I've never seen them in action before, but we've seen some of the jobs they've done before. These guys are really very brutal. We got information that the Chadian forces, in collaboration with the Nigerian forces, if you know that the Chadian, they share border with the Nigerian forces. So they actually tracked the JNIM terrorist group to the spot where they were trying to refuel. I'm talking about refuel their bikes. I'm talking about refuel, their weapon. They've just gotten a new weapon. According to what we heard, they've just gotten a large cage of weapon. But you guess what happened? They said there were over 250 in that location. Imagine that the troop did not track them to that location. What would have happened? But ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately for this element, ladies and gentlemen, all hell broke loose. The fan of Niger and the Chadian forces neutralized every single one of them. None of these terrorists escaped. So we got the pictures on Telegram. It was dire. It was gory. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we conclude for the morning. In the afternoon, we'll be dropping you another breaking news that has just happened in Mali. You can't wait to get it. So if you love what we do on this channel, you can hit the notification bell icon and put it on all so that when next we drop, you'll be the first to get it. It's your boy 72 Android signing out and all set. But before I go,